Aren't natural disasters evidence of man-made climate change? Well, folks, floods are nothing new. I want to take you back to the Great California Flood of 1861-1862, when rains for 8 weeks in December and January came in off the Pacific Ocean, dumping water on the state. It's a picture of K Street in Sacramento, where the water got to be 10 foot deep. The governor had to take a rowboat from his house to the Capitol building to be sworn in. Then he promptly canceled the government and moved it to San Francisco until the water went down. Down in Los Angeles, they received 60 inches of rain in just 3 months. Normally they get 10 inches. Can you imagine what they'd say today if that happened? They had lakes around Anaheim. They had parts of the Mojave Desert looked like an ocean. But the biggest impact was in the Central Valley of California. William Brewer toured that in January of 1862, and he said, thousands of farms are entirely underwater. In the Sacramento Valley, for some distances, the tops of the poles are underwater. He meant the 20-foot-high telegraph poles. The entire valley was a lake extending from the mountains on one side to the Coast Range hills on the other. Nearly every house and farm over this immense region is gone. At that time, California had 800,000 cattle, and 200,000 of them died in this disaster. So this shows you the power of what natural effects can do. Here's a great picture of Hurricane Sandy off the east coast of the United States. Interesting storm, heading out in the North Atlantic, hit a high pressure area, came back and made a direct hit on New York City. It hit at high tide, and it also ran into a storm front that was coming from the west at the time. Many have said that this is evidence of man-made climate change. But this has happened before. Recall the Norfolk and Long Island hurricane of 1821. Actually, I'm not old enough to recall it, but it came busting right up the East Coast. When it hit New Jersey, it was Category 3 or 4 hurricane, much stronger wind speed than Hurricane Sandy. And it struck New York City at low tide. The ocean levels were 5 foot lower than when Sandy hit, yet it still flooded 1/3 of Manhattan Island up to Canal Street. During the 20th century, we had 170 hurricanes make landfall in the United States. 59 of those were Category 3 or stronger, all of those stronger than Hurricane Sandy. So how does it then become evidence that one hurricane that makes a direct hit on New York City is evidence that a trace gas is changing our climate?